Hello, this is Marian Davenport with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching our Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We are here today to talk with candidates running in the May 19, 2026 primary election. We are grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the Weiss Foundation, the Sarah Fruing Foundation, members of the League of Women Voters of Portland, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Diane Sykes, who is running for judge of the 4th District Circuit Court, Position 2. Welcome, Ms. Sykes.
Good morning.
Please tell us a little about yourself and why you're running for this position.
So I've been practicing law for 28 years, primarily in Multnomah County. And I am running for judge because I believe that at this point in my career, I have a lot to offer the court in terms of breadth of experience. I started as a public defender and working primarily with the Hispanic community, and then went on to a 10-year career at Legal Services, doing safety net work for low-income populations, ranging in employment, public accommodations, public benefits, housing discrimination, a variety of poverty law issues, and then went to the Department of Justice to set up a civil rights unit, and now in private practice. So I've worked in just about every sector of the legal community, and I believe that my breadth of experience will lend itself well to assisting the court with the full docket.
What, if any, criminal sentencing reforms would you support?
So I am obviously very supportive of any sentencing reforms, whether it be diversion for low-level crimes, work release programs, and there are a number of programs that exist in the courts that are great programs, but they need to be expanded and further resourced, and the development of new reform programs. So, currently there's the drug court, the mental health court, there's a veterans program, domestic violence courts, DUI diversion courts, but I think that we need to look more critically at where the gaps are and, maybe look to first-time offender programs. I think that a judge's role can be for, non-presumptive sentences, that there, be a reason to deviate from sentencing when there's a substantial or compelling reason, or looking at programs where you earn a reduction in supervision for specified and eligible crimes, that if people are willing to participate in recidivism reduction programs and pay restitution, that these are programs that should be offered when appropriate, and certainly working with the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission, which is the compilation of stakeholders, whether the DA's office, the public defenders, community organizations, law enforcement, probation, parole, to collectively look at sentencing reforms and consider those as options.
Do you have a preference in assignment within the court if elected? And if so, what would that be and why?
So the position that I'm running for is the general docket, and that includes civil and criminal casework. A large percentage of cases are going to be in the criminal realm, and I will do whatever is assigned. The presiding court sets the docket, assigns the cases, and I'm prepared to do whatever is assigned to me, with the understanding that I have a breadth of experience with civil litigation, particularly civil jury trials. And I've been told by, judges, seated judges, that this is a huge need for the court, but I'll do whatever is assigned.
You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast with Diane Sykes, who is running for judge of the 4th District Circuit Court, Position 2. What, if any, role can a circuit court judge play in the treatment of immigrants in our community?
I'm bilingual, Spanish, English, and I've spent my career working with immigrant populations. So I have a particular interest in ensuring that our court system is accessible in an equal way to non-speaking populations and people who come from different cultural backgrounds. Interpreter services are available, but I think that those services should be expanded, particularly when in jury trials, if resources provided to be able to have interpreters in on the deliberations and making sure that everybody understands the process. I would also advocate for know your rights trainings, judges going out in the community to educate populations about our sanctuary laws, rights and responsibilities of the court, and working with culturally specific organizations to bolster understanding, awareness, and inclusion within the courts.
What, if any, impact would a party's known status as a homeless person have on cases that come before you?
The significance will certainly be mitigating circumstances in criminality, whether homelessness, the status of homelessness played a role, and what the root cause of the homelessness was, whether it's drug and alcohol, mental health, domestic violence, and when available, to be able to address those root causes, and certainly, if appropriate, as a mitigating circumstance in non-person crimes. I am a business owner, so I've seen the impact on the community as well as representing communities that are unhoused. And, I frequently come across first responders who also express the challenges. So I think that that is a consideration that needs to be brought to bear when people enter the system.
What effect, if any, might the philosophy of restorative justice play in your performance as a judge?
I think that restorative justice can be a great way to heal communities and advance victims' rights while ensuring accountability. And I would very much support those programs being infused into the criminal sentencing programs.
Thank you, Ms. Sykes. This concludes the Video Voters Guide and podcast interview from the League of Women Voters of Portland with Diane Sykes, who is running for judge of the 4th District Circuit Court, Position 2. Election Day is Tuesday, May 19th. To find additional election resources, including online identification of other candidates and ballot measures on which you may be able to vote, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland's website, lwvpdx.org, and vote411.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Ballots will be mailed out starting on April 30th. For your vote to be eligible to be counted, your ballot must be received by the Multnomah County Elections Division or placed in one of the designated ballot drop boxes in Multnomah County no later than 8 p.m. on Election Day. We strongly recommend that if you're depositing your ballot with the United States Postal Service, you do so no later than Tuesday, May 12, 1 week before Election Day. Your voice and your vote matter. Thank you.